Well. How's it going? Happy Sunday. I just wanted to make a video that I finished filming the first video, and so now I am going into the editing process, which will likely be the rest of the day. But I did want to share a funny and fun story with you about the fiasco that was midway filming the first video. First of all, let me say, I do have a general history of something always going wrong when I film videos. Like, more often than not, when I do something even remotely complex, something is wrong, like something goes wrong. So I'm kind of used to that at this point because it happens majority of the time. So we'll see, I guess, now that I'm intending to film one of these once a week-ish, if it'll happen every time, if something will happen every time, or if it's just going to be a little bit less frequently, and that it happens more often because I don't do it very often. Anyway, it went really well overall. The filming went really well. The time that I put into that sort of shot list and everything really helped make it simple for me to know exactly what to say, and also, like, recording everything by location. So I was going to finish filming yesterday, but I was filming one of the kitchen scenes, and I had the TV on the table over there. There's a table behind the couch, and then I had the camera on the counter right there. I can't point to that counter where the cup is, and yeah. So I had my micro HDMI cable running from the camera to the TV so that I could see myself. I have a smaller TV that's in my bedroom. So I've been using that as like a monitoring monitor, a monitoring monitor. So yeah, that happened. I had those connected. The wire was running between the table and the counter, and I was like, oh, it's fine. I can get over it. Like, it's like I can like step over it. And the first time stepped over it perfectly, but the second time I didn't. and the camera and the TV came crashing down from their heights. The TV was on the counter and crashed into the... Oh, that's right. It was the TV. It was the other way around. So the camera was on the table and the TV was on the counter. So the TV... so the TV crashed. Oh, wow. Looks like we're having some focusing issues. A little bit. Not much, but a little bit. The camera fell to the ground, and the TV fell to the ground as well. First crashing into the snake plant right there. Poor guy. Just keeps getting beaten up. Oh yeah, this is doing a lot of refocusing. Who knows, the lens could have got fucked up too. Anyway, the micro USB cable got bent in that process. So yeah, it no longer worked. I couldn't push out signal from the camera to the TV anymore, and also I knew that was the only way that this works. Like, it's connected. The only way that my camera DSLR connects to the computer is through that micro HDMI port on the camera. So I was mostly concerned that the camera was broken, that the camera's port was no longer operable, and that was going to be a really bad situation. So I then began the journey of hunting down a new micro HDMI to HDMI cable, which was a hilarious feat in itself. I purchased the first one that I bent just yesterday, back in May of last year, to be able to like monitor myself on something else besides the camera itself, because it's hard to see, like, well, not hard to see, it's impossible to see yourself in this camera because there's no like flip up screen, there's no nothing. So anyway, so I bought that one from Best Buy in May, and so I was like, okay, I know Best Buy has them. So I went onto the Best Buy website and I like searched it up, and I was like, mini HDMI to HDMI. That was problem number one. Was that I searched mini HDMI to HDMI. So found one Best Buy that had one. And I was like, okay, it'll just be faster if I just drive there and pick it up instead of ordering online, which to like pick up, from an online order or something. So I drove down to Chandler, which is like 20 minutes away. And I get there and I'm like looking around everywhere and I can't find it. So I asked one of the employees, I'm like, hey, I'm looking for a mini HDMI to HDMI. And he's like, okay. So he like starts showing me where they could be and stuff. And he's like, it looks like we don't have any. And I was like, damn. I was like, your website said you did. So he's like, but the Awatuki one does. So Awatuki was 5 miles the other direction. So I went and drove to Awatuki's, and they were so busy and so understaffed, and I couldn't find anything anywhere. And I looked everywhere. I spent like 30 minutes in that store. Couldn't find anything, but I found a mini HDMI adapter that had the mini HDMI port and then like an open end for the HDMI cable. So I was like, okay, fine. I'll just buy that and another HDMI cable. It'll be good to go. So I buy those. I go home. I open the packaging. I try to just make sure it tests out and make sure it all works. The camera's still fine and everything. And it turns out that mini HDMI was not correct, because it's not called mini HDMI. It's called micro HDMI is the thing that I needed. And I forgot that. I forgot that it was actually micro and not mini. So I bought the wrong thing. I get back here. It doesn't fit because it's not the right port. And yeah, so then I was like, okay. Let me look at my order history with Best Buy and see what I ordered last time. Well, it turns out it was a micro HDMI. I was so confused. I was like, are there different sizes of mini HDMI? I'm so confused. Like, why is this one so much bigger than the last one? So yeah, turns out it was micro HDMI is what I needed. And yeah, so I placed I placed an online order to reorder that exact cable, which happened to be in stock at the Awatuki location as well. So I placed that order, and literally the text message was like 3 minutes later. No, actually, first I placed an order for another mini HDMI cable because I was like, well, I must be just like using the wrong one. There must be a different mini HDMI cable that I need. So I placed an order for a mini HDMI cable. And I'm like, okay. I get a message like a second later, like literally like a minute. It was like 1 minute. They were like, okay, it's ready for pickup. I'm like, Jesus, that was fucking fast. I should have done that in the first place. And then I'm looking at the order history and I realized it's actually micro HDMI. So I have to cancel that online order and then place a new online order for the micro HDMI, which they also had in stock, thank God. And about 10 minutes later, it was like, okay, it's ready for pickup. So I drove back to Awatuki. I returned the 2 that I bought earlier. And he's like, oh, we have 2 pickups for you. I was like, oh, I canceled one of those. He's like, oh, okay. He's like, what was wrong with these? I was like, well, I needed micro and I bought mini. He's like, oh, well, that makes sense. I was like, yeah. So, yeah, I finally, after about, I want to say like 2.5 hours of running around back and forth and to and from, I finally got the cord that I needed, tested it out. Camera still works. So we are good. We're still in business. And I finished filming today because I was done at that point. The light was gone. All my B-roll stuff was not going to match what it looked like in majority of the filming. So okay, I'll just have to film this tomorrow. And I did. Everything went super smoothly for what I had left, which was mostly like B-roll stuff and like 20% of the talking points. So yeah. Finally finished all that. So lesson of this story is check your order history if you're reordering something. Don't search it. Just reorder exactly what you ordered last time. And order it online for in-store pickup for Best Buy, because that is so much faster than trying to walk around the fucking store, unless you know exactly what you need and it's like a super generic thing that you know exactly where it would be. Like, but if it's something specific like a micro HDMI to HDMI cable, yeah, fuck that. Just fucking order online and pick up. Whew. Or get it shipped to you. Even better, if you have time. I did not. I was losing my shit. I thought I broke my camera. So, and that was going to be a, nice $500 replacement that I did not want to spend. So, I'm glad. I'm glad the camera's fine. I'm glad. Yeah. So, just thought I'd share that really fun story with you. Really, it's not a video unless something goes wrong, I think. In a general sense, that's usually how it goes for me. The first big video that I filmed for Prime Source, I brought all my shit to the fucking office, man. And my boss, the boss who was like not really present all the time, but I wanted to get an interview with him for the channel to sort of like start it out. And he had just gotten me the lavalier microphone and some lights, and so I brought all this stuff, and I brought this microphone as well so I could record myself as well. And yeah, I brought my laptop so I could capture the audio. Oh my god, it was a whole fucking setup. I brought everything with me. It was like 2 bags of shit. And then I realized I don't have an SD card. And I was like, how did I forget an SD card? So he's like there. We're like, okay, we're ready to get started filming. And I'm like setting everything up. And I realized I don't have an SD card in my camera. So I'm like, okay, 1 minute. I'm going to go run to Best Buy and buy a SD card real quick, and then I'll be back. So I do that. I go to Best Buy. I buy an SD card. I get back. I realize the SD card is in my laptop, which I brought with me. So the SD card was right there the whole time. And the video after that I filmed for Prime Source, that was like a video, was a Canva tutorial on how to export files with bleed, because so many of our realtors export their files from Canva with no bleed, and we like literally need that to print things to color edge, edge to edge color. So I made a video about that. Had to film that 3 times because each time I fucked up the screen recording with Vimeo's screen recording, and I tell you learn something every time. You're like, okay, there's a lesson here. And the lesson here was just fucking reorder, man. Don't waste your time with all this, oh, let me search it, and then I think this is the right one, and then pick it up, and yeah, so much bullshit. So it is now, let's see. It is now 3:30, and I am getting started to edit this video, which is probably going to take me like 8 hours to do everything. Maybe, I don't know, really. The Storyblocks element of like adding stock assets to it with like I want to make like a little intro thing and have some sort of text graphics and things like that, and try to make them look a little bit nicer than just like plain text. So that'll probably take an extra little while. So I don't know, we'll see. I probably won't be able to finish it today. And that's okay. I mean, it falls outside of the window that I was hoping for, but what's a couple extra days for a YouTube video? So that's a part of the deal, just no, while the goal is 1 video a week, I'm not holding myself 100% to that. And if I don't stick to it 100%, that's totally fine. It's totally fine. It's just kind of the guideline, the rough estimate of what to do. So anyway, just thought I'd share that really funny story with you, because there is some enjoyment in other people's suffering, right? Also, I got to go to McDonald's because that was a part of my B-roll shots. Was getting fast food because it does make an appearance in the script, so I thought it'd be fun to have a little bit of B-roll of me getting McDonald's. So, little treat for my day. Although I have nothing for dinner, so I don't know what I'm gonna do for dinner. Maybe I'll make mac and cheese again. That sounds fun. Or just have cereal for dinner. That's also fine. I swear there's gonna be a day. There's gonna come the day where I'm gonna regret not making eating right a priority in my life, and like getting good at cooking and stuff, even just on like a basic level of like, here's some chicken with some vegetables, eat it. Anyway, I hope you guys have a good Sunday. I will probably make another video once I finish editing, just to keep this whole one take Soul Train running. One take Soul Train. So, yeah, probably do that, and I'll probably, just be like, hey, it's out. So I guess be on the lookout for that. Might be tonight if I'm lucky. Probably be like tomorrow or Tuesday, more realistically, because I'll probably want to sit on it for an evening and then rewatch it and make sure I don't want to switch anything up or whatever. So, okay, that's enough. I've said enough words. Hope you enjoyed the story. I hope you're having a wonderful Sunday, and I will see you soon. Goodbye. Failed at hitting the end recording button.